Hey everybody, welcome back to TomGirl. We are celebrating episode 50, yay! And we're here with creator and founder of the GirlTalk Network, Sarah Pendrick. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
All right, picked boss for you because you are a boss.
Yeah.
All about girl power. Hey Sarah, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy 50th.
Thank you. Well, I couldn't think of any more perfect person than you to be celebrating the 50th with us because I absolutely love what you do at GirlTalk Network.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, tell everybody, for those watching who may not be familiar with the network, a little summary of what it is and what you've created.
Yeah, so Girl Talk is a place just for women in every stage of their life to come and connect and support each other. There's an event series. I have a big signature event, which is super amazing. You have to come. It's always on the West Coast. And then I have a nonprofit and then online programs. But it's just a really place for all of us to come together and support each other and really have that mindset of like, when you win, we win, and vice versa. And just a place to it's not like on the trend of women supporting women. It's what we're always have been about. It's what I've always been about. And it's like really walking the walk, not just talking it.
And now tell me how this got started and where this inspiration came to you.
Oh my gosh. So recently, I'm sure if anyone's heard this story or follows Girl Talk, they've heard me talk about this, but I had my business plan at 15 and it was what Girl Talk is now, obviously, but from a 15-year-old standpoint. So it's so funny to look back on that I've always had this idea in me, but I went off in different directions and did different things and then got brought back to where I wanted to be when I was ready. And I think it's just always been because I love helping people. And there was a time in my life that I felt really alone and I felt that competitiveness of women and I've gotten bullied and just all the different things. And so I know it was extremely needed. And I know every woman, even if you're on the bullying side, you're hurting and that's why you're acting like that. And we just really need to promote helping each other.
So how did you go about making it come to light? Yeah, making it happen.
So this is what I tell everyone, for anyone that's watching that wants to start something, is I set a date. I literally was just like, I'm going to have this event. I thought about what I wanted for the end in mind, like how women would feel when they left and when they would feel when they walked in the door. And I was like, okay, it's April 23rd, 2015. And I just literally burned all the boats. I was making a lot of money and doing my PR and marketing job. And I used all of that just to fund my passion and what I wanted to do with my life.
So tell me what the first event looked like.
Oh my gosh. So it's literally, people say it's like a wedding for women because I just hustle so hard to make it so beautiful, because I just feel like when we're in a space that's beautiful, we feel really taken care of and feel really good. And you could just see when you walked in the door, obviously I do promoting beforehand and let everyone know, like, this is a place for you to walk the walk, not talk it. Like, anyone that's coming here and not really like living like that, and if you want to come in and just put on a show, like, this isn't the place for you. So everyone was coming there really excited that there's other women out there that want to live this life. And then you would just come in the room and you just felt so much love. And there was but different panels, keynote speakers, a brunch. It's just like literally a whole day. It's evolved since the first one was just an event for a few hours. But yeah, it was just like flowers everywhere and girl power and just women being like, hey, like, I came here by myself. Like, let's put our walls down and just connect. And how can we help each other?
Then how has it grown from that one to the ones you do now?
Yeah, so you missed our one.
I know. I was so mad.
Yeah,
I know.
that's okay. We're doing more.
Yeah, I will be there for sure.
So I do little ones like that to connect people that are in the same industry so we can all help each other and help each other grow. But my main event is called the Girl Talk event. It was called Connect and Inspire, but now it's the Girl Talk event. And it's grown into a whole weekend. So it's like, I hate saying, like, everyone's like, is it a conference? Is it a summit? And it's like, it's everything in one. Like an event, a brunch, a conference, a summit, like a party. It's everything wrapped into one weekend. Like anything that any woman could dream of, we have it there.
So for somebody who wanted to attend, like, what are some examples of like speakers that you've had in the past or breakout panels or things like that they would see there?
This next one is going to be like on a whole nother level. It just keeps getting better and better. But in the past, I do my programs and my speaking. It's something that I'm so passionate about, to really let women connect and also let down their guard and let go of things that have been holding them back from the past. The panels are all from business to lifestyle to just supporting each other and people sharing real stories. Like, I don't have a set agenda on the panels because I want people to sit down and just, what does the audience really want to hear, and answer questions and say like the real life struggles of what they've been through, what they might be going through standing on that stage right there. Some of the keynote speakers have been the Bella twins. I'm one of the keynotes, Kelly LeVeque, Nikki Bella, or I already said Nikki and Brie. Those are my two close friends. Lori Harder. Gosh, there's been a lot. Yeah.
And now I saw an interview with you, and you talked about how when you did the first one, you were actually kind of nervous when you got up to speak. Can you talk about that a little bit, and how this has been a growth experience for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so my major in college was psychology, and I literally like picked either the science or the arts one because I was trying to avoid public speaking. So it's like shows how terrified I was of it, but I always had visions of doing it. So my first event, I didn't really plan on becoming a speaker, and now I'm like an international speaker. I just booked my first international event in November in London, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, so it just shows from like a short period of time how much you can evolve as long as you just take that first step. So I was terrified. I was sweating. I was thinking about it like weeks before my first event. I'm laughing now because it's like, of course I always get a little nervous because you care.
Yeah.
But it's so funny to go from where I was then to now. But it's just like, I forced myself on stage. I realized that you don't have to show up perfect. You just have to show up. And I think that's what really let me step on stage. And everyone like loved it more I was like, oh my God, I'm standing up here. I'm sweating. I'm super nervous. And everyone there is going through something like that. So just to step forward in your fears. And now it's what my whole passion and what I love doing. Like, I love going around and speaking all over the country.
Do you think that need or that feeling of wanting to be perfect is what is holding a lot of people back, or holds us back a lot?
Yeah, I think so for sure. And I think that's what held me back even before, which is funny to say because I feel like I'm an open book, like I would answer anything. I wasn't vulnerable. And I just thought that like, oh, I can't do it unless it's perfect. And I would spend so much time doing something like, it's so funny that I thought you have to go up there and you can't stutter, you can't mess up, you have to know exactly what you have to, like what you're supposed to say. And that's not what people want. And that's not how you really make it. It's being authentic and just being nervous and just embracing that.
What are some other things that you've learned like through this that, through your process of growing with this, like things that you didn't know before when you first started?
Yeah. So really listening to your own voice, because there's so much out there and there's so much information that we can get our hands on, and so many people saying that they did it this way and they did it that way. And so just really knowing that you should take the bits and pieces of other people's advice, but listen to your own heart. Because I mean, I sold out my first event on Instagram, my first one ever. And then as I built it, I started listening to other people tell me, well, now you have to do this. And oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And I would be like, okay, well, if I want to make it to this level, I have to do this. And then I realized like, no, I don't. I mean, I literally sold out my first event in LA, 300 women. That's huge, especially here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just need to stay in my lane and listen and accept my superpowers. So when we're out there and we have so many, as we're up leveling, you need to take that time and space for yourself to know that you really do have all the answers.
How was it? So you had this idea when you were 15.
Yeah.
And when did you make the decision to either, I'm assuming you left your PR marketing job for this, to make that jump and dive in and trust yourself with this?
So I made the decision just because I was, like I said, I was making money, but money isn't just success, and it doesn't mean you're fulfilled. So I would get like this next goal. I would have this awesome client. I would do all this stuff for this brand. I would buy whatever I wanted to buy, and then I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And then in my spare time, I was doing things that made me happy, like volunteering, helping people, talking to other women. I come from a psychology background. Like I said, I love connecting people and just helping people and studying and figuring out like why and how you do things. So I was like, why am I doing this when I just have the time and I'm kind of miserable? And I just got exhausted and was like, F it, like I have to do it. Yeah.
And so it started out as an LA group, and now it's a national group. And then it's also, you turned it into a nonprofit.
Yes.
Can you talk about the transition into making it a nonprofit?
Yeah. So I actually started it as a nonprofit.
Okay.
But I didn't have my 501c3 at the time I was doing the events, and then I would give some of the proceeds to women and children charities that I believed in while I was developing my own program. And then I turned it into the 501c3, but now I have both legs where it's a for-purpose and then the nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's just so funny. You see how even if you look at any brand out there, you see how people evolve. Like I started it in LA because I was kind of having a little limiting belief being like, oh, is this going to be national? I should just do it in LA. And then look what happened. I ended up doing it nationally anyways. So, but that's okay because I learned a lot. I got really connected in my community and then was able to grow it.
I know you're a big goal setter.
Yeah.
Now, do you attribute that to your success, or how do you make your business, how have you made this business grow?
I mean, there's a lot of different things that I would contribute to my success, or what I've accomplished, or the community that I've grown is obviously the women that are involved themselves. So many women, people that are like, I want to be a part of this. How can I help? So it's not just me. My community has contributed to everything, but I really think being honest and real and just really working on myself was the best thing that I could do. Because you could follow a rule book, you could do every marketing play, you could do everything in the book, but if you're not happy with yourself and just constantly growing on another level, I mean, you're not going to be able to hit the success that you could if you were just really being authentic.
What do you see some of the common themes for the women that are coming to your events and things? Are there some similar issues or problems that they're dealing with?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different, but it's so funny because we're all the same. Like, it's like, oh, I have such a hard time meeting other women. Oh, I don't have any women in my life that like want to grow, or, especially as an entrepreneur, it is really hard for women because entrepreneurship can be lonely and it feels lonely and we're all stuck in our thing and we forget to talk to each other and share. So I think it's just realizing there's so many women out there that feel the exact same. We just have to let our walls down and reach out.
Can you talk about some of the marketing tools, like getting a little more specific, just for people out there who are trying to, grow their own endeavors as well, like good marketing tools that you use?
So I think, especially if you're just starting out, the most important thing is building your audience. Just really speaking to your people. It doesn't matter if it's 5 people, if it's 100 people, if it's 200,000 people. Just before, a lot of people are like, I have this idea now, how do I make money? But you need to have the people behind you and your clients or your customers that trust you. So really being authentic to yourself, because then you're going to bring in the right people that you're speaking their language. If you're trying to be something that you're not, you're going to be bringing in the wrong people. You're going to eventually discover this isn't me, and you're not building your audience that's going to stay by you forever. So I think the first step is really building your audience and just getting out there and start posting. Now, social media with any brand, it's a vital thing. People might not want to go on the social media bandwagon. They're like, I don't want to post every day. I don't want to show my face. If this is what you want to do with a brand, you need to be doing that.
And what kind of tactics have you used with social media?
So the more I feel the more real I am and the more that I engage back with my audience, that is where I see the most results, and then I see my impact growing. So really just being real, having polarizing posts too. I think people are just trying to post quotes and, be positive all the time. Not saying be negative, but be real. If you had a really bad day, sharing that. I think people are craving authenticity, but also real talk and really what's going on.
Yeah, and I think that, I know you touched on that a little bit earlier when you were saying you were nervous on your first one, that it's I think people do, it's especially with social media, because you can package everything to look so perfect and so polished all the time. But it does kind of get lost in, the shuffle with that said. I think it's because I know I enjoy those posts when people have shared something. I'm like, oh yeah, I relate to that.
Yeah, you're like, I just went through that last week, or I remember when that happened. And you just kind of are speaking. One thing that I do a lot is I speak to one person. even though I'm speaking to however many, I speak to as if that person's in front of me and I'm posting this for them. And I feel like that is the best thing that you could do.
Do you do any other marketing besides social media?
Well, I do. Email lists are really big. So even, I know a lot of people, I was doing a training today and everyone was like, I only have 500 followers. Like, what do I do? And I'm like, start building your email list, like making lead magnets, providing value. And that's so important because we don't really own our followers on Instagram. Like those could disappear at any minute. So email, and here's another thing is actually getting SMS. I think SMS is going to come back to where you can just like text your people on a mass text, and then also instant messenger on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
For the mailing list, do they just grow that by like having that link on their websites to have people join and sign up the mailing list? Is that what you recommend?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really just providing them with value, and you could have some sort of like lead magnet and help them find their superpower, have them take a quiz, have them give them stuff for free. So then they can come into your network, and then there's going to be people that unsubscribe, but then you just have your own email tribe that want to hear from you and just constantly be giving them value.
So in one article, you were called the Elwoods of girl power.
Yeah.
How did that feel for you, and how does it feel to be creating such a wonderful network of women?
It's amazing. It's so funny because at the time when that came out, I wasn't even like, I was obviously appreciative of it, but I think you can just get, and that was when I was first starting out, you can just be like, okay, but that wasn't like enough. I need to do this. And I want like 1,000 people at my event. So then you forget to celebrate the little wins. And so it was crazy that like a year after that, I looked back and I'm like, that's what I was asking for the whole time. Like, that's what I want to be. I want to be the Elwoods of girl power. Like when it happened, why was I just off like thinking about the next event? Like we as entrepreneurs and people in general, we need to be celebrating the things that are coming to us now, because if we're not, we're sending that message to the universe like, I don't want more, I don't appreciate this. And even though we might not mean to, we really need to celebrate our little wins for the big ones to come.
What have been some of your other like favorite moments or experiences with this?
Actually, I had one today in my GirlTalk Life group that I just launched.
I wanted to talk about that too. So let's talk about that after.
Oh my gosh, this woman shared, because they're all introducing themselves and saying their stories, and I didn't know this, but at one of my events, her and her mom had been going through like a really tough time and just had a really relationship that, you know, was really tough her whole life. And she somehow came across GirlTalk Network and started following me and came from Michigan to Phoenix, that's where the event was, with her mom, because she was looking for something for them to like heal and grow together. And they've had the most amazing relationship ever since, and really were able to like let their walls down. So I didn't know that. And it's been, I don't know when my Phoenix event was, maybe like a year or two ago. So reading that, I was like, wow, like this is just another reminder why I do what I do.
Yeah. So now talk about that, the life talk more.
Yeah. So that people were coming to my events, and you know, when you come to an event, you're like on this high, if it was a good one, like I'm going to connect with her, and maybe you don't end up connecting with her. And then maybe it only lasts like a few months or 6 months. Or one thing that I saw is that a lot of women's lives were changing, and they were constantly like, when's the next event? Even years after, they're like, oh my gosh, that changed my life. I took massive action. So I was like, what if I had a place that they could come to year round and connect and have that support, and also have this little online mass? It's so much more than a membership. You have you pay monthly and you can leave at any time, which I don't think that you will, but just to have that support and have that constant like coaching. I bring experts in, you have access to me to just help you. Like I was just doing one-on-one calls with them as a gift to help them launch their brand, or someone's going through something in their relationship. So it's really like a life mastermind for women to help each other.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So then you dive into more helping them with specific things that they want to
like
approach.
Next month we're like really, there's all these other like guest experts and things that you get, but for example, next month it's all about relationships and money mindset, so it's like just a life, like let's all go kill it together in life, basically.
Love it. It's so great. And now, I mean, you got to be loving that with all the Me Too movement and everything that's going on, like women power is just so big right now. Have you seen even more interest now with some of those things going on in our society?
Yeah, I think that this has been a need for so long, and now people are starting to really talk about it. And yeah, I think that it's always been there, but it's just more like in our face now, which is amazing.
Well, I think I've been to groups before where we've also like we've wanted mentors or wanted people to help out, but didn't know where to look or where to reach. You know? So that's one thing I love seeing your stuff and like seeing people who you have at your events and those kind of things.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I'd love to learn from those people or get some knowledge. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I know we don't have much time left, but what are some of your, since I know you have your goals, what are your goals for like the next 5 years or what's next on your list of what you want to accomplish with this?
Well, I'm really pouring into Girl Talk Life. And then we have, which literally, like, if you guys go follow me, I'll be announcing it super soon, the big event that I've been talking about. So I'm really focusing on that. I'm so excited about that. It's like so amazing. I mean, I love it. But in 5 years, I mean, I just want Girl Talk to be the place that any woman can go all over the world and like at your fingertips, like you have that support and you know that you're not alone and you can just have the best life and have and create that life that you want. I just want to build that platform and be doing masterminds and events and online everything to just really help women. So there's no more excuses. Like no more, I'm alone, I don't have this. Like, yes, you do.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. Sign me up. Yeah. Well, tell everybody again where they can follow you on social, where they can find your site online, all that info. Where they can get involved.
I'm always on Instagram. You can DM me. Like, I'm very involved with my community. So at GirlTalk Network, and then my website is girltalknetwork.org, and you can find information for that with Girl Talk Life and everything on my Instagram and my website.
How much is the subscription per month for the Girl Talk Live?
It's only $27 a month. Yeah.
I
know. Like, fantastic. I'm like, okay, I've spent like $25,000 on coaches, and I have those coaches coming in, but I just wanted to make it accessible for every woman. And everyone's in there. Like, someone might be at the top, like, of their, like, they're a badass CEO, but they want to help someone and they need help in a different area. They need help in relationships. Like, it's just about collaboration.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, think of how much we waste per month. $27 is nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, you just, especially like in LA, my lunch was just $27.
Right, exactly. Totally. So, that's definitely doable. Yeah. Well, this is fantastic. I just hope the best for all of it. I think it's, just fantastic, and I love what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and happy 50th.
Thanks for being here. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. You can follow me at TomGirl TV, and we'll see you here again next week. Have a great one.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.